thank you for watching another one of my videos. So today I just wanted to show you how to make this this baby blanket. I called it an Angel's Love baby blanket because there's a saying that says that when you find feathers somewhere, an angel's just been passed. And I just love this so much. And I have noticed feathers often just like whenever I wander around with my baby somewhere. So I like to think that there's angels watching over him. Anyways, so I was inspired to make this baby blanket. So I hope you like it. It's very easy to make, so I hope you enjoy it. So to make it, I used 4 skeins. I think a little less than 4 skeins, maybe 3.5 skeins of this Vanna's Choice by Lion brand, and it's in shade light blue. So you need 4 of these, and it's really soft and lovely. It's an Aran weight, so medium 4, and I used a 6.5mm crochet hook to crochet this blanket. For the edging, I used Sirdar Supersoft in Aran, and it's shade 831 in cream. I will be posting all this on my blog at selinaveronique.com, and also in the description box I'll write a brief summary of what you'll need. So yes, I used a 6.5mm hook for the edging too, and for the feathers I used a finer yarn. So I just chose like a cream light 3 yarn. In the UK it's called DK yarn, so it's crocheted with a 4mm crochet hook, which I used just to make the feathers, and I chose just a shade that was very similar to my edging. It's just a plain yarn. I'll just write that down in the description box too. You will need a pair of scissors. So I've only found my baby scissors the other day. I couldn't find my embroidery scissors, but they're fine. It's fine for just snipping off the yarn. And also, yes, a tapestry needle. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I will be using US terms, and let me know in the comments what you think of this blanket. Anyway, it's very easy to make, and I've made a step-by-step tutorial, so it should be fine. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into this. So for the purpose of this video, I will be using a random yarn that I had, just so that you can see it better. It's a pink yarn, and so you're going to make your slip knot, pop it through your hook, and then for your blanket, so I will be making a smaller sample today. I'm not gonna make another blanket, so you will need to chain 95. So I will be chaining 28, but you will be chaining 95 to make your blanket. So I'm just gonna start chaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've just done my chain. So once you've done your 95 chain, you are going to pop your finger here just to at the end of your chain, that very last chain, just to place like a small marker of sorts. Chain 2, 1 and 2, and so that counts as your first half double crochet, the chain 2 that we've just done, and we are going to be doing a half double crochet in that chain where you placed your finger. So that's actually now the 3rd chain from the hook. So just wrap your yarn around your hook, pop it through that chain, take your yarn, pull it through that loop. You've got 3 loops left on your hook, and take your yarn and pull through all 3 loops, and that's your half double crochet made. We are going to be doing that all the way along, so just wrap your yarn around, go into the next chain, grab your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook, and you are going to grab your yarn and pull it through all 3 loops. So in the next chain, wrap your yarn round, pop it through that chain, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on that hook, take your yarn and pull through all 3, and those are your half double crochets. So wrap your yarn round, pop it through your loop, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops left on your hook, take your yarn and pull through all 3 loops. So wrap your yarn around, go into the next chain, take your yarn, pull it through the loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, take your yarn, pull through all 3, take your yarn, wrap it around your hook, go into the next chain, take your yarn, pull it through that loop, take your yarn again, pull through all 3 loops, and that's your half double crochets. So you are going to be doing this all the way along, so if you need more time just to learn the half double crochet, just rewind this video and watch it again, and I will join you at the end of this row where you will be placing only half double crochets, and you will be therefore placing 95 half double crochets in total. So I'm back and I finished all my half double crochets for this row, so you should have 95. So to make your next row, you are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and this will count as your first half double crochet. So you're going to turn your work, and because this stitch counts as your first half double crochet, you will place your next half double crochet in the second stitch. So I'll just try and show you so it's not really, there we go. So hopefully you'll see. So this is your first half double crochet. We've chained 2, so you're not going to go into that first stitch right here. You are going to go into the second stitch right here. So this is your first stitch here. So you've got your half double crochet, and so you're going to go into the second because you want a nice straight edge. So you're going to wrap your yarn around, go into that stitch, wrap your yarn around again. You've got 3 loops on your hook, take your yarn and pop through the 3 loops and into the next. So you're going to do the same thing, wrap your yarn around, go into that next half double crochet, pull it through and pull through, and wrap your yarn round, go into the next half double crochet, pull your yarn out, and just carry on doing your half double crochets like I showed you in the previous row. So yes, another detail I wanted to tell you is that you will go through the top of your half double crochet from the previous row. So I'll just show you. You'll go through both strands, so you'll have 2 strands here at the top of your stitch, and you are going to go through both strands. So just through that hole at the top, just place your half double crochets through both strands, because if you don't do that you will end up with a ribbed blanket. So that's really nice too. So if you wanted you could do that, but that's not my pattern, so it's just for you know, details. So just go through both loops, just right here, and I will meet you at the end of that row. So just carry on doing your half double crochets, and I will show you when we get to the end how to finish your row. So I'm almost at the end of my second row. I just wanted to show you the end bit because it's so important, and you will get a nice straight edge if you do that. So I've left 2 stitches, so we're going to do this one, the next one. So just as usual, do your half double crochet. There you go, half double crochet, and the last stitch will go into your chain 2 from the previous row right here. So I'm really specific about that because so that you don't forget it, because it's so easily done, because it's so small. It doesn't really look like a proper stitch, but it is a stitch. So you need to pop a half double crochet into that chain 2 from the previous row. So just pop your half double crochet through, just because you want to have the same number of stitches and a straight edge throughout, if that makes any sense. So just make sure that you do count that chain 2 into your stitches, and you will be great. So I'll show you how to do row 3. So you're gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, and that counts as your first half double crochet. You're going to turn your work. Again, this half double crochet counts as your first stitch, so you're not going to go into that very first one right here. You're going to go into the second one. So just wrap your yarn around and do your half double crochet as usual, and you will have your half double crochets, and just carry on doing that for your third row, just as we had previously. And just carry on popping your half double crochets through all the way along through your 95 stitches. So if you want to make sure that you've got the right amount of stitches at the beginning, just count them each time. Just make sure you've got 95 stitches, and you will know then that you've put the right amount of half double crochets in. So I'm at the end of row 3, so I've got 2 stitches left. Again, I'll show you how to do that. So just pop your half double crochet through that, and then of course through that chain 2 from the previous row. Never forget that one, just right here. So pop your hook through there, wrap your yarn around and do your half double crochets, and now you've got a nice straight blanket. You'll notice as you go along. So basically you're just going to repeat this. So I'm just going to chain 2, 1 and 2, turn my work, go into the second stitch, and just carry on doing your half double crochets. Oops. So just doing your half double crochets all the way along. So with my blanket I did 64 rows. So yes, 64 rows seemed like a nice number for a nice even blanket. So yeah, so there you go. You will just carry on doing this. What I will do now though is show you. So I'll just let you carry on doing those half double crochets in those rows until you reach 64, or the number that you want, like the size that you like for your blanket. What I will show you now though is how to join your yarn, because yes, I needed 3 of these, I think. Yes, I'll write all that in the description box. So how to join your yarn. So I'm just going to cut this yarn just for the purpose of this video. So how I join my yarn, I like to leave a nice long tail just so that it's easier to weave in actually. So I always leave a nice long tail. I just, so this is the end of your yarn, this is the beginning of your new skein, and I like to make a nice tight knot. And what I do is that I just carry on crocheting until I reach that knot. So there you go, I've reached that knot. What I do is that I take my strand that I'm using and I take that in my hands and I kind of try and separate them from the two random strands that we've just tied in. So I just do my half double crochet, and you see you've got these two strands. So what's easier to do instead, I find, of having to sew in all the loose ends at the end, what I do with blankets for instance, or any garment actually, if I can, is just try and work them into my project as I go along, so it's just easier and neater at the end. So I just put those two loose ends on top of my chain work, and I just carry on working just with them lying flat, if that makes any sense. So I'm just making my blanket, and you can pull it a bit, not too much, you don't want it to be too tight, and just work them flat underneath your half double crochets, if that makes any sense. So just make sure that it's nice and neat. It's not really that hard, to be honest, once you get the hang of it. You don't have to do that if you don't like doing that and you prefer to tidy up all your loose ends at the end of your project, then that's fine, but that's just my technique. That's just like a hack, if that makes any sense, just to make things easier at the end of the project. So once you've done that, I do that for a few rows, not a few rows, a few stitches. So I'll probably do that for at least 10 stitches. Once I've reached 10 stitches, usually I just snip off the loose ends. So I'll just show you. So you can either just snip them off at the end of your project, or you can do it now like I'll show you. So I just pull them gently, just so that it's, you know, like that, lying flat, and I just snip them off like so, and it's a seamless, it's very seamless and very easy, so that when you reach the end of your project, you don't have that task to do. So to make your border, so I finished my project. So you should have finished your blanket, all your rows. So to make the border, I'm just gonna choose, I'm gonna take my yarn and make a knot at a corner. So just choose any corner. I've chosen that one for ease, and just tie it very simply. I make a double knot. Then once you've done that, I try and sew in my ends, my loose ends as I go. So I suggest you do the same if you feel comfortable doing that. You're going to make a single crochet, a chain one to begin with, and then you're just going to single crochet through every stitch. So just pop your hook through the stitch, take your yarn, pull it through, and go through both loops. Again, so this might look a bit confusing because I've got my loose ends that I'm tying into, but just pop your hook through simply, grab your yarn, you've got 2 loops, and just go through both loops. So just basic single crochets all along this row, and what you're going to do is place a single crochet all along the project. So for this side it's quite easy, so I'm just going to snip off those loose ends. There we go. So for this side it's quite easy because you can see the stitches quite easily. For this side here it's going to be a bit more difficult, so just try and space them out evenly as you go. So just place a single crochet evenly all across those sides. So you've got two sides which are the row sides, and then all along here too. So just go around your project. I'll show you. So I'm just gonna single crochet again through that stitch, through this stitch, just very simple single crochets all the way along. So I finished my my sample, so I've just finished doing my single crochets all the way around. Sorry. So I'm just here. So what I'm gonna do now, is I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch right here. So just pop your hook through, grab your yarn, pull it through that loop, and then pull it through this one. So now you've joined all your single crochets, and what I am going to do is chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and I'm going to so this counts as our first double crochet, because we are going to be placing double crochets to form shells all around this border. So what we're going to do is inside that first stitch right here, so that's where we've placed our chain 3, we're going to place 6 more double crochets. So inside that same stitch, so just yarn over, go into that stitch, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn, pull it through 2 loops, and take your yarn and pull it through 2 loops, and that's a double crochet. So we're going to do another 5. So yarn over, go into that same stitch, take your yarn, pull it through, take your yarn, pull it through 2 loops, and pull it through 2 loops. So I have actually got a video on how to double crochet, so I'm just going to link it down below, so if you need more help you can click on it. So there we go. So we're gonna do 6 more in total, and as this chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, we are going to need 7 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we've got 7 in total, our first chain 3, and then 6 more double crochets. Just gonna zoom in a little. So what we're going to do now is we're going to count 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, we're going to skip those, and we're going to go into this one, which is the 4th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go into that one, and we're going to place 7 more double crochets. So just go ahead into that stitch and place 7 double crochets. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. There we go. And you've got your second shell. So now we are going to count 3 more, well 4 actually, 1, 2, 3, you're going to skip those, you're going to go into that 4th chain once again and place 7 double crochets into that 4th chain. So there you go, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7. So we are going to be doing that all the way along. So yes, so just go ahead and place all your shells. So just skip 3 each time, 1, 2 and 3, go into the 4th and do 7 double crochets and do that all the way along. Even at the corners it changes nothing, just skip 3, place 7 double crochets in the 4th chain and so on, and I'll meet you back once we've almost finished. So I'm back and I've just finished my last shell right here. So I've still got 3 spaces as always, but just a tip is that you might get to this point and have less, not 3 stitches, if that makes sense. You might have 1 stitch left or 2 stitches left, or you might have the right amount. It doesn't matter. I mean, really it doesn't. No one's gonna tell. So just do as many shells as you can, and then once you reach this part, just go to the top of that first chain 3 that we did at the beginning. Just go here inside there and slip stitch just to join your border. So your border will be joined, and just snip this off and form a knot. So once you've done that, you're going to just sew in that loose end and you'll be done. So I finished this sample, which is actually quite cute. I'm gonna keep it as a decoration under a frame, or yes, something like that. So once you've finished your blanket, you're going to want to make your feathers. So I'm just going to show you how to make your feathers and how to sew them on your blanket. So I'm back and I'm just going to show you how to make your feathers. So these are my feathers that I made for my project, and I'm just going to make other ones just to show you how to do them and how to sew them on. So there are 2 different feathers. These 2 are the same and this is a bigger one. So I'll just show you how to make this bigger one first and then these 2 after. So I'm just going to show you how I crocheted my first feather. So you're going to make a slip knot and pop your hook through. I'm just using a random light 3 yarn, so that's a DK weight yarn in British terms, and a 4mm crochet hook for this tutorial. So to begin with, you're going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once you've chained your 20, you are going to place your thumb here just on the last chain as like a stitch marker of sorts, and you're going to chain another 2, so 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you are going to single crochet in that chain that you marked with your thumb. So just go right in and make a single crochet, and then once you've done that, you are going to place 3 half double crochets in the 3 next chains. So just find the next chain and place a half double crochet inside. So 1, 2, 3 half double crochets. So once you've done that, you will be placing 3 double crochets in the next 3 chain spaces. So just find the next chain space and do a double crochet. So just place your double crochet. There we go. And we're going to do 3 of those. So there we go. I've done my 3 double crochets. So once you've done that, you are going to place 6 treble crochets into the next 6 chain spaces. So just yarn over twice, go into the next chain space and make your first treble crochet, and in the next one. So just do 6 trebles. So I've done 3, 4, and 5, and I'm going to place my 6th one just here. So there we go, I've got 6 trebles. So now I'm going to do 3 double crochets in the next 3 chain spaces. So 1, oops, sorry, it's my yarn. Sorry. So I've done 1 double crochet. I'm gonna do a second one. We need 3 in total, and my 3rd right here. Then what I'm gonna do is make 3 half double crochets in the next, 3 half double crochets, yes, in the next 3 chain spaces. So just go ahead and do your 3 half double. So that's 1 half double, a second half double, and my 3rd half double. And we should have 1 chain space left into which you're going to single crochet. So we've done half of this feather. So I'll just show you what it looks like. So what we're going to do now is just turn our work and work on the other side of our chain, just so that it's a mirror image of what we've just done. So just turn your work, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in my loose end into my work. So I'm just going to, untangle my yarn. Yes, so I've done that. So what we're going to do is, so I've turned my work and we're just going to work on the other side of the edging. So we're going to single crochet again inside that stitch, but on the other side. So single crochet. We're going to do 3 half double crochets in the next stitches. So just go ahead and do your half double crochet. So 1 half double crochet, and in the next stitch 2 half double crochets, and in the next stitch 3 half double crochets. Then we're going to do a 3 double crochets, so 1 double crochet, 2. So we're just mirroring what we've just done basically on the other side, and I am weaving in my end as I go. So now we're going to do our 6 trebles. So wrap your yarn around twice, go into that stitch and do your treble, and a treble, 3, so there we go. There we go, 6 trebles. And now we are going to do our 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. So where's my stitch? And 3 double crochets. Now we're going to do our 3 half doubles. Like I said, it's just a mirror image of what we did previously. So half double and another half double, and at the top right here we're just going to place a single crochet just to finish off our work. So there we go. So here we are, we've got part of our feather done. So to finish off your feather, you are going to turn your work like so, and you're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. You are going to slip stitch from the second chain from the hook. So just skip that first chain space and go into the second and just pop your hook through, grab your yarn and pop it through that stitch. So you're just slip stitching again, just grab your yarn and slip stitch. So you'll have 3 slip stitches, and just go back into your actual feather, anywhere really, just at the top, and slip stitch into that, just so that it kind of finishes it off right. And we've done our feather. So I'm just going to take my scissors, and what I do is that if I know I'm going to sew it onto my project, I'm going to leave quite a long tail just for sewing it in. So just snip off your yarn and pull it through with your hook just to form a knot, and you have a feather. You should snip off also your, just pull gently, very gently on your loose end and snip it off. And there you go, you've got your feather, and you've got your yarn to stitch it onto whatever you wanted. So that's your first feather, and to make the second feather, so you can't, there you go, it's a smaller feather. I'll just show you how to make that smaller feather. So you've got 2 different feathers that you can work with. So I like sometimes on projects just to have like different sizes of the same thing, because it kind of looks nice, I think. So for feather number 2, you're going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So once you've chained 15, you're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So skip 1 and go into the second and single crochet into that. You're going to do 2 half double crochets in the 2 next stitches. So 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and in the next stitch another half double crochet. There we go. You're going to double crochet 3 times in the next 3 stitches. So just do your 1 double crochet, go into the next chain and do another double crochet, and into the next chain and do another double crochet. Now we are going to do 4 trebles, so just wrap your yarn around twice, go into that stitch and do 1, go into the next stitch, 2, 3, and 4. So you've got 4 trebles. Now you are going to make a 2 double crochets. So just again go into the next and do a double crochet and do another double crochet in the next chain, and then do a half double crochet in the next one, and then a single crochet in the very last chain. So just do your single crochet. So there we go. We've got the first half of our second feather. So again, we're just going to turn our work and work on the other side of that feather. So weaving in our end once again. So just do the mirror image of what we've just done. So single crochet into that first stitch, half double crochet into the stitch after that, so 1 half double crochet. Then we are going to do 2 double crochets, so 1 and 2 double crochets. Once we've done that, we are going to do our 4 trebles. So 1, 2, so no, 1, now 2, ooh, sorry, so this is my second treble into that stitch, the next stitch, so there we go, a treble. Then I'm going to do my third out of 4 to the next stitch. There we go, another treble, and then another treble into the next stitch. And we have 4 trebles. And once we've done that, I am going to do 3 double crochets. So just go into the next stitch and do your first double crochet, and then a second double crochet, and then a third, and then you're going to do 2 half double crochets. So there we go, 1 and 2, and in the last stitch you are going to be doing a single crochet. So just pop your hook through and do your single crochet, and we've got the body of our second feather. So we are going to turn our work around, pull on that and just snip it off. And again, to finish off the feather, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. So just skip 1 chain and slip stitch those chains. So we've got 2 slip stitches, and to finish off, just go into the body of the feather and slip stitch into that, just to tie it in properly. And we've got the second feather. So again, I'm going to leave a long tail for sewing in, and just pull this through, and we have our feathers. So this is how I make my feathers. So my other pink feather is here. There we go. That's my blanket that I made. Quite happy with it actually. So what I'm going to do is choose a corner that I like. So I'm going to choose this corner. So I'll just do this so that it's clearer. So I'm just going to choose this corner and place my feathers on it like I want to sew them on. So I'm just gonna sew this one here on this piece, so like so. So I'm just gonna like try different places. So this is where I want to sew it. So the way I'm gonna sew it is just my way of sewing it in. So it will be visible, like the stitching will be visible on the other side of this blanket. But I don't mind, I think it's artistic. I mean, that's how I wanted to do it, so yeah. So also I'm gonna just say a little disclaimer. This is how I've done my baby blanket. Obviously you need to secure these feathers quite tightly onto your blanket, and that's completely your responsibility towards your baby or whichever baby this blanket is for. So just make sure that you've secured them on properly. This is just my pattern. This is just what I've done, so it's just your responsibility to make sure that it's safe and you're comfortable with this blanket. So in any case, I'm just going to show you how I've made mine. So I'm just going to pop my gosh, I've got really bad baby brain today. Sorry, I'm very sorry. I only think of the words in French. So this is in French an aiguille. In English it's a tapestry needle. So take your needle and just pop it through the end. So this is the end bit of, I don't know if you can see properly, like the end bit of your feather, and I'm just gonna, so you can use I'm just gonna pop it through the whole blanket, okay, using the loose end that I had. So I hope you can see this. So basically I'm just gonna go back and forth securing it just on the edges. So I hope this is visible on camera. Let me just, so yes, so I'm just, so my needle's at the back at the moment, and I'm just gonna pop it through, like, I'll just de-zoom so you can see, like so. So it's, I'm bringing it back forward, I'm going back inside, so I'm just sewing the edges. And at the back we'll be able to see the stitching, but that's the idea I was going for. So just again, there we go. So if you look at the back, you can see the stitching. So let's have a look. I'm just going to pull this tightly. There we go. So it's only discreet, but you will be able to see it. So I'm just gonna sew this feather in like so. I hope this is clear. You can sew it again any way you prefer. This is my my way. You can secure it with needles, you know, like you would use in sewing pins. So just, yeah, I've just done it a bit like random. So there we go. And this is how I'm sewing my feather. So that's why you need it quite, so at the back you can see it. This is why you needed quite a long tail. So I'm just gonna carry on doing that throughout. So it's just a very basic sewing, to be honest. You really don't need to be a sewer. I think you can say that word. A seamstress? Yeah, I don't know. To be able to sew it. So I'm gonna sew this in entirely. So I'm just gonna go around completely, and then once I've been round I'll get back to you, because I will be going round a second time just to make sure that it's secure on the blanket. So just carry on doing this sewing bit, and I'll be back with you. there we go. I've sewed in my feather, so what I'm going to do is go round again just to make sure that it's properly secured. I mean, it should be. I just prefer to say a disclaimer. So I'm back. I finished sewing my first feather, so I hope you enjoyed it. So I'm just going to sew my other feather here on the side, and this other one I'm going to place here, just so that it looks a bit random and like an angel has just come past. I love the idea of this blanket, and I'm excited to pop it on my baby's bed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, and hopefully you subscribe for more videos and more ideas. I've got lots of things coming for this autumn. So anyway, bye bye.